Hey everyone, it seems like a nice day to experience the Palladian architecture with me. It's an architecture concept which was derived by the Venetian architect Andrea Palladio. His style was adapted from the classical architecture form of Greek and Roman traditions. This architectural style uses symmetry and proportion to enhance the grandeur of classical buildings. Most of the villas and churches designed by Andrea Palladio follows the same, and it's in and all around Venice and Veneto region. Palladio recorded his ideologies and published his work in a form of four-volume book that's called the Four Books of Architecture. So now we're gonna look into the context of this architectural masterpiece, the Church of Redemptor in Venice. The front facade is Roman classical and is cladded with the rich history and then great stonework. The back of the church is a private zone with some meditation space of cloisters. It seems like an entirely different space. We would hardly recognize that as the same building. The brick construction of the structure is not concealed, it's more exposed. Even more striking is the towers that flankingly appears behind the dome as the eastern minarets. Palladio seems to have drawn inspiration from two separate traditions. One was representing the Western culture, and then the other representing the Eastern culture of the world. Which is said, like Venice, typically being a bridge between the two sides of the world. The liturgical revival of the Counter-Reformation opposed the centrally planned church, requiring separate functions for different paths of the Latin cross. Already employed a combination of centralized crossing at the end of the nave. The elevations of these church designs have been added to the fold-up of the previous paper and to the same scale. The apse is lit from the dome above and from the choir, which stands behind the semicircular screen of columns. Leading to the massive entrance of the church are wide, counting 15 steps of height. This recalls Palladio's facade for San Francesco della Vigna, where he... Now, talking about San Francesco della Vigna, we can see more detailed information about it. It is a Roman Catholic church located in Venice in the northern parts of Italy. In the early 1560s, he designed the facade of San Francisco della Vigna, a sign prototype for classical churches with a high nave or central aisle or lower aisles. He resolved this by intersecting classical temple fonts, one joining side aisle and the other grander front superimposed upon it. These solutions were refined and perfected in the facade design of San Giorgio Maggiore. The design was recommissioned to be in Renaissance style with various elements involving in it because of its association with the Trinity. The nave should be 9 paces wide and 27 paces long. Each side of the chapel was 3 paces wide. Palladio addressed the challenge of linking the central nave with the side aisle and the facade in an innovative manner. The facade contains 2 large bronze statues of Moses and St. Paul, actively stepping forward from the shallow niches. There are 5 chapels on each side of the nave, mostly plain, adding visual contrast to the altar pieces and artworks. Palladio's work echoed in all the churches and villas around the city They beautifully balance the architecture with the water space of the lagoon. His works earned him a preeminent spot amongst Renaissance architects. His architecture works are one of the reasons for making Venice an unforgettable place for tourists. Thank you.